Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be talking about what it takes to be a quarterback. I'm going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals.
You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video.
Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become.
All right, so I am obviously the guy, the first guy that's going to come and, I'll go to my sessions with my tripod to be able to help you guys in being able to improve in the mechanics and the ability to throw the football, because I think at the end of the day, that's going to give you the opportunities. If you can throw the ball really far, if you have clean mechanics, if you can get your wrist on top, all those things make a big difference in making it so you have the opportunity, right? But one of the things that I know separated me and made it so I was able to be a quarterback was not the arm strength, but was more of the leadership capabilities, right? And so I just real quickly want to go into, some of the things that end up going into that. And I had somebody that's in my program that, reached out to me to, make a video about this. And I really appreciate it, because I do think it is something that is very, very overlooked. And that is something that still needs to be talked about, because, at the end of the day, my dad was a football coach, right? And I remember him being in 8th grade, his high school football coach, and him sitting me down and saying, look, I'm never going to give you more opportunity than any of the other guys. You're going to have to, if anything, work harder for a job and work harder for the opportunity. And me being a son, and always looking up to my dad, and for a variety of reasons, a lot of people looked at him as a great coach. I always heard about how he's the best, the funniest, great leader, all these things that, really pushed me towards wanting to be the quarterback for, his team and be able to really earn that job. And so I really committed to it, right? And that's one of the things that, I think is important, right? Is that I wanted it so bad that I think that other people around me knew how badly I wanted, right? It was no jokes for me. It was really about being the best version. It was really later on into my high school career when I actually earned the position, I started to get more comfortable, that really ended up being, more of my downfall. But when I was first, 8th, 9th, 10th grade, I was very hungry. I was very determined. I was very disciplined. And, that's really carried me on, into my later years, because I knew I had that in me. But, point is you want to set boundaries. When I was in, and even today, you have to have boundaries. You have to be able to say no. You have to be able to, be somebody that is going to have certain expectations for yourself and the people around you, right? And so if you don't have boundaries with people, then that really makes it so the amount of, respect is different, right? You create more respect when you create boundaries. Okay, and so what you want to do as a quarterback is you want to set up the boundaries that are for you, and then earn the respect, or make it so you get the respect that you want as a quarterback, because you have to get that. You have to be respected by the team, right? And talking about, first person I called when I got off the phone was my dad, and was like, hey, this is what a guy has as, their situation. And he went in, he's had a lot of great quarterbacks that have gone to play in the NFL, played Division I, but a lot of times they end up having, multiple quarterbacks that are trying to earn the position for the team. And, it doesn't matter how good you are or how far you can throw the ball if you have the ability to lead the team, the ability to make it so, the other guys on the team want to play better to make it so you look good, right? That's an important part of being a quarterback, is you got to be able to make it so everybody around you wants to do better and wants to, show up for you and gets that level of inspiration, right? And that's where the weight room's important. That's where, having a strong voice, working on your cadence, right? Working on being able to talk to the team at the end of the day. The reason I can get in front of a camera and it's not as much of an issue is because I started this in high school. I started this when I was wanting to earn that spot, wanting to try to get people to rally behind me, wanting to be able to, earn that respect, right? Earn that position. And so, from the beginning, I would go and be the first one in line. You had to make it so I wasn't the first quarterback taken out, going and taking the reps. I went and at the end of practice, I would always try to say something. I'd always try to lift everybody up, or like, we got a tough team, or whatever it ended up being. I would go in and want to be able to create that. And I worked on my voice, and I worked on my cadence. I wanted to have a strong voice. I didn't want to be unheard. You know, especially when I was in those younger years, 8th grade, like my voice was not near as strong. Like I had to build a stronger voice. I had to make myself stronger within like my core and my lungs to make it so, you know, my voice could project more. Okay? Say hi to the guys on your team when you're at school. You know, have conversations with all the different people on your team. Get to know everybody. And these are things that I still do now. You know, when I'm going to go and work with the team, I can't create just like only a team relationship. I got to be able to have individual relationships with people, and I got to be able to care about what their individual goals are and what they're trying to achieve, and be able to have, you know, that connection with the guys, so then they know when we're talking as a team that, you know, it's together. You know, we're together. We're in this together. You know, but if you don't have a relationship with the individual, then it's a lot harder to be able to get them to participate within, you know, the 11. So, you know, you got to have great relationships with as many guys as you can. You don't got to be best friends with, you know, the guys. You don't have to go in and, you know, take them out to dinner or go and do anything like that. But you got to care about what they're doing. You know, you got to care about their lives. You got to be able to say what's up to them, you know, say hi to them, know them by name, you know, shake them in the hands, look them in the eyes, right? Like those things matter. It might be, you know, to some degree maybe blown out of proportion in areas, but in terms of actually creating a bond with somebody, a relationship with somebody, making it so you could show that somebody cares, you know, I think eyesight matters. I think how you connect with somebody matters. You know, I think that, you know, really asking the questions about who they are makes a difference in, you know, making it so then they'll make a great catch for you, or, you know, we'll make a great block for you, or we'll just make it so when you talk to the whole group, they all listen. Right? And I had a desire to be the best that I could be, to be great, right? And I think that wanted to grow and expand, you know. So I would get in arguments with, you know, people that, you know, that disagreed with me at times. It's not just about being popular and being cool. And to me, still to this day, like, I wish that I didn't try as hard to be as popular and as cool. I wish I was more firm on my boundaries. I wish I was more firm on, you know, being able to stand up for what I believed in, what's right and what's wrong. I think I would have been better off, you know, by doing that. But as a quarterback, you have to, you know, the better you can do that, right, the better off you're going to be. So the more time that you spend off to the side not saying anything, right, the more time that you're not talking to your teammates, the more time that you're not stepping up and being the number one guy, you know, and deciding you're going to be the number one guy and making it so they have to pull you off, right, or tell you to get off, you know, or tell you to take a step back, you know, from that first group, right? I mean, a big thing too when I went to junior college, you know, you had to go and fight for the spot to get on the field. You know, like some of the guys, it was a process of elimination because they wouldn't be willing to be able to step up, you know, to be able to say, no, I'm getting my reps. You know, and there's guys that would take 3 reps in a row because nobody else would stand up to be able to say, I'm going to take the reps. You know, and that is what's going to earn you the job. Right, because the guy that took 0 reps, even if he's great and wants and hang out on the side, and you know is waiting for coach to be able to put him in, I'm sure he has a ton of excuses for why, you know, the things worked out the way that they did, or this, that, or the other. But the fact of the reality is, you got to show up. You know, you got to say you want to be there. You got to earn it. You got to have, you know, the expectations of what you can do and make it so that is known to everybody around you. Because if you're not willing to step up, right, if you're not willing to get the respect of the team, if you're not willing to, you know, say that was my mistake, the interceptions, the sacks, the, you know, bad throws, the drop passes, right, if you only blame everybody else for those, then nobody's going to want to play for it. You know, nobody's going to want to play with you. The coaches aren't going to want to coach you. The guys are going to, you know, the coaches are looking for guys that are going to take all the ownership. They're looking for the guys that all the team rallies behind. Looking for the guys that the entire team plays better when they are on the field, right? The guys that are able to score touchdowns, the guys that are able to move the sticks, the guys that are able to win games. That's what coaches are looking for. So, you know, the reason I put a big focus into the mechanics and into being able to develop the arm strength is because I had a lot of the, you know, that intangible, right? I didn't have the arm strength. So I really wish that I would have developed more of the arm strength, and, you know, I think I would have had a lot more success because it would have made it so everything was a lot easier for me with, you know, throwing the football and being more accurate and stuff like that, because if I would have had better mechanics and, you know, focused more on that. But I think that there's a lot of quarterbacks that now are watching this and getting better at this and really focusing on the mechanics and are maybe losing some of the important characteristics that are needed to actually play quarterback, right? And that's what we're going over today. What are the characteristics of a great quarterback? What are the things that you need to be able to develop, right? And this is going to be a forever development, right? This is going to be something you could always become a better leader, right? You could always become a better motivator. You could always be somebody that can, be better at taking on accountability. Okay, and so the more you can do that, though, as a quarterback, the more you can step up, the more you can, get guys to listen to you and be a good friend and be somebody that's going to be there for, the coaches, the players, all the people around you, then the more everybody will get behind you. So then when there are disagreements, it's not come from a place of disrespect. It's come from a place of, I'm trying to win games just like you're trying to win games, right? But if it ends up being a disrespectful type of, disagreement with coaches or with players, then that's where you end up having conflict, and that's where you end up getting yourself kicked off a team or not being a starting, quarterback. But, there also is healthy disagreements where we're saying, hey, this is what I think we could do to be able to expose the team more, or this is how you can see my competitiveness, right? There's people all the time that are, I don't come off as a super competitive person, I think, because there's part of me that's shy and reserved, and I don't really get myself out there a ton, right? I like to be able to build those personable relationships, those one-on-one relationships, and then I use that to be able to grow and expand, I guess, from there. And so, I'm not the first guy to talk. I'm going to listen. I'm going to observe. I'm going to be, I'm going to think, right? I'm not going to go in and go and just start talking about anything at any time. But when there's competitive, when it gets competitive, when it gets, where I think that it's crossing boundaries, where it gets right and wrong, then I want to have a voice. I want to be heard. I want to be understood. And that's important for you to develop now. When you're in a youth quarterback, a high school quarterback, whatever the case may be, the faster you can really decide that you're going to be that vocal leader, right? It's important to be a leader that performs, but it's also, if not the same level of importance, potentially even more important as a quarterback to be that vocal leader. So work on your cadence, right? Decide that you're going to say something when somebody doesn't do the right thing, right? Show up, get yourself a little uncomfortable. Get some guys that potentially not like you. It's okay that if some of the guys are not fans of you, right? That doesn't mean that they're not going to show up and play hard just because they don't like you. In some cases, I've seen the guys play harder, because they know that there's boundaries that are set. They know that the expectations are there, and they know that I'm going to show up to do the best that I can, and I'm going to show up and be the best version of myself when it gets into a competitive environment. I'm not going to let anybody beat me ever. I'm here to win. I'm not here to lose. I'm here to win, and that's every day, and that's every practice, and that's every rep. Then the more people feel that and understand that, right, and hear it too. It's great to be able to talk, right? You want to be able to talk. You want to be able to have the words behind it and the actions, right? The actions are going to be able to speak louder than the words, right? That's a very common saying. Actions speak louder than words, okay? But if you just act and you don't talk at all, that doesn't help either. All right, so you want to be able to continue to help you guys out and being able to develop. I hope this helped. I hope this makes it so you can develop more as a quarterback. This is really the best information I think I can give you guys when it comes to, being able to try to differentiate yourself, right? And for me, not being the biggest size, when I was a starting quarterback, when I was a junior, I was going against a guy that was Division I guy, and I ended up, being able to at least make it so we could split time, right? He ended up having an injury, so I was able to start off the season, and we had a lot of success. And I was 6 foot, 160 pounds. But actually it was probably 5'10", 160 pounds. And we beat the number 20 team in the nation. We beat the eventual California Division I state champion, or Division I Southern section champions. We should have probably made it to the state championship. At the time, they didn't have the same type of format. We were the city champions, and they had to select from a few different divisions. But the Division I CIF champion, the team that would have been the quote unquote modern day St. John Bosco division. Long Beach Poly is the team. We beat them, right? And we beat them that year. We beat Notre Dame that year, so we had a lot of big wins. Okay, and I was not the biggest. I did not have the best arm. There was receivers that threw the ball further than me. But when we played, we played as a team, and we made some big, conversions, and didn't make the mistake. Just showed up, played great. Wanted to win more than the other teams wanted to win. Okay, and that's what ends up being important. And that comes from the confidence, right? I lifted hard. I trained hard. I was dedicated. I didn't take no. It's hard to say no to me. If you guys have been on the phone with me, it's not an easy thing to say no, okay? Because I'm going to give you a lot of value. I want to show up for you. I want to be able to help you out, right? I want you to win, because a win for you is a win for me, okay? So I'm very competitive, and if you're not winning, then I'm not winning, and I don't like not winning. I'm here to win. I'm not here to lose. I'm here to win. I'm focusing on the win. And I think a lot of times people end up getting too focused on the losses, which makes it so you guys don't show up or don't show up or sign up for the Throw 60 program, right? Or to get the breakdowns, right? Because you're afraid of your own loss, right? What can I lose, right? The focus is on the loss, okay? That's, to me, the wrong way to look at it. I want to focus on the win. What can I win? What can I gain? What can I get more out of? How am I not operating at my best? And then being able to find the solutions to be able to get me to where it is that I want to go. But the more you focus on the loss and the way that things aren't going to be able to turn out right, then the more likelihood it is going to be like that. The more likelihood that it's not going to turn out right. Right? We're here to be able to, I'm here to be able to help you win. I'm here to be able to help you get better. Okay? And I take this very, very personally. And I take it very, very, it's very important to me that you get better. And you end up being the starting quarterback. And you end up accomplishing your goals. Right? And sometimes I feel like it's more important to me than it is the individual that I'm working with. Okay, but I hope these words, again, really connected with you. I hope you're a little motivated. If you need to watch a couple more videos, then do that, but definitely like this video. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave those down below. Check out the Throw 60 program. Let's hop on a Zoom. Let's get to know each other a little bit better, and let's get better. Let's spend these next few months here in the off season continuing to get better. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.